Okay. They show. Okay. They show. Okay. They show. They show.
You good?
Yep.
Bill and Tracy, good?
I'm good.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back all. Thank you for your patience as we work through the first of probably a lot of technology issues as we open the year here. I certainly appreciate you taking a little bit of time. We're going to be brief today, as I know you put some time in prior to coming into school. Today's convocation, and I think you'll see why here in a few minutes, is going to be sponsored by Brentwood Tavern. They're just excellent partners in everything we do, and certainly appreciate their sponsoring today. They're also going to sponsor a teacher or student of the week for our school district all year long. They're going to highlight some of our athletes, and as well as doing a staff member of the month. So continue to be great partners for us as we go through the school year, certainly. So we've got some new staff. I'd like to welcome our new staff to the district. I know more formal introductions will happen in departments or at buildings, but I did want to recognize these great additions to our team. I always have the opportunity in opening day with new staff to talk about the number of resumes we get. You know, we get hundreds and hundreds of resumes for positions. So we know that when we get somebody that kind of rises to the top, we're very fortunate to have them and look forward to them, everything that they add to our school district. So our new school psychologist, she's earned 3 degrees from John Carroll University. She completed her practicum experiences at Nordonia Hills School District last year. And Mrs. Banco is certainly excited to have her on our team this year. So we'd like to welcome Amelia Bendo to Chagrin Falls. New to our high school in the guidance office, in the guidance department, is a graduate from Bowling Green University. She student taught and then began her teaching career as a mathematics teacher in Houston, Texas. So after receiving her counseling certificate, she served as a school counselor for a couple of years before making the decision to come back home to the Cleveland area. We're very fortunate and lucky to have Samantha Hamilton and welcome her to Chagrin Falls Schools as well. So not new to the district, but new to the position of 5th grade language arts teacher at Chagrin Falls Intermediate School. She's a Kent State University graduate with a middle childhood language arts and math certificate. And she began her teaching career in Maple Heights. She served as the last 2 years at Chagrin Falls Intermediate School as a Tier 2 interventionist. We'd like to welcome back Alana Waite and congratulate her on that new last name, because I know she was married over the summer. So congratulations, Alana. Our final new staff member will be joining Gurney as a classroom aide. She's a graduate of Bowling Green University as well, with a bachelor's degree in elementary education. She has elementary teaching experience in preschool, 3rd grade and 5th grade. She's also a Chagrin Falls alumni and community member. So we'd like to welcome Courtney Mooney to Chagrin Falls Schools. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to our Board of Education president. Before I do that, I do want to thank Mrs. O'Toole and Mrs. Sharon Brose, who are also tuning in to support us support the district today. But I'd like to thank Mr. Rankin for making some time in his busy schedule to be here today. I don't think any of us signed up for our jobs knowing COVID-19 or a pandemic was coming, and I think that would probably include the board president. So certainly appreciate your leadership and everything you've done as a board president, and thank our entire board for everything they've done over the last few months to help us get through this difficult time. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce and thank Mr. Rankin.
Well, thank you, Dr. Hunt. I appreciate likewise everything that you committed to the school and everything that together we've endured since this last spring and found a way through. We always find a way. But yes, everybody, the Board of Education, really appreciate your hard work, your dedication, and your trust, your trust in the board and in the administration to do, what's good for you and what's good for the kids and what's good for the school. So, but I appreciate all your hard work. Can't stress enough, thank you for all that you've done. As Dr. Hunt mentioned, last spring, we certainly, he and I went around and we faced several challenges together. Last spring, we knew we were venturing into a new world. We had no idea how many turns or how long that journey was going to be. And quite frankly, none of us still really know exactly how long the journey is going to be. But, the administration really has pulled together a great plan. Dr. Hunt and his whole staff have done a great job developing a plan to try to keep everybody safe and to try to keep the educational experience as effective as possible. So I want you to know that, obviously like any journey, like any new venture, there are going to be changes and it's going to be a little bit of a work in progress. We have a very good plan set out in front of us to get started on this, but there are going to be changes along the way and we're going to learn. So finally, the Board of Education, we've got your back. We really have developed a good plan. I'm sure Dr. Hunt's going to be taking your feedback along the way. We are going to make adjustments, make things work right. And we're going to be working with you on this because, yes, we are all in this together to bring the best educational experience possible to our students. So thank you for all you've done and enjoy the journey as much as you can.
Thanks, Phil. I appreciate that. And appreciate your ongoing support and support for the board, from the board and the community as well. At this time, I'd like to introduce our PTO president. I always describe our support organizations to other superintendents, and they're just amazed at what we're able to get done with our support organizations. And really that's because they work so hard, raising funds, providing support, doing things for our school. So although they're outside organizations, I really feel like every one of our support organizations really plays a large part in the culture that we have and enriches everything that we do. And the PTO kind of certainly takes a lead in that. So I'd like to introduce and thank Tracy Maschke for her service and let her make a few comments this morning.
Thanks, Dr. Hunt. Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Tracy Maschke. I'm president of Chagrin Falls PTO. Just wanted to update you guys on a few of the goals that PTO has been coming up with over the past several weeks and what we hope to accomplish over the next several months. And yes, Lisa Salyers, I'll keep it under 2 minutes, I promise. Okay, so first of all, we want to convey the message that if there's ever a time where the school, teachers, staff need our support, it's right now. Every one of you has been challenged to adapt to this paradigm shift in education, and you're doing so with just the utmost grace and gusto and with such a sense of power and purpose. So PTO is behind you 100%, and we appreciate that. Our second goal is to foster the connections between our families and the schools, especially the families in our Chagrin Falls Virtual Academy. We believe that when families feel more involved and connected with the school, they have a more positive and brighter outlook on their experience, especially coming into a levy campaign. So we definitely want everyone to feel connected and involved with the school as much as possible. So we're going to be coming up with ideas to do that. And although many of our parents do connect through PTO volunteerism, we are aware that that's going to look different this year. We hope that you call on PTO to, provide support for you, maybe at home. We can put together science kits for at-home labs or assemble art supplies, whatever you need us to do. We're eager to go to work for you. The third point we want to emphasize is our wish that you utilize our grant request process, as your toolbox may be lacking some critical items for this year. We want to help fund your creative ideas as you navigate through this new age of delivering education. And so please do think about, that aspect of PTO. You can find a list of grants that we offer and access the forms on the district website under the staff tab, as well as on our PTO website. There's a menu button at the top that will say grant requests. We truly hope our PTO website will be online in the next couple of days. We've worked really hard on it. We're really proud of it, and it's a whole new look. So take a look. Finally, we are excited to provide each of you a personalized mask lanyard. So when you take those needed mask breaks, your mask is never too far from you. So we'll be getting those to you in the next week or so. So on behalf of PTO, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for all the blood, sweat, and tears you guys have invested into our children. We wish you a fantastic opening of the school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy, and thank you for everything that you and PTO have done for us. We really appreciate it. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Woofter here in a second. I do want to recognize Chris's work, along with, the administrative team and all of the staff that came in over the summer to help us get our plans in order and all the feedback that we've, gotten. When I wrote to the community last week and rolled out our plan and we shared it with Cuyahoga County Health Department, they wrote back and, I put it in quotes because they said it's the gold standard of any school district they have seen. So I think that says a lot about the work that's been done, and I certainly appreciate that. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Woofter to talk about the Ray Markuska Award.
Thank you, Dr. Hunt. Yes, the Ray Markuska 20-Year Service Award is being presented. And if you, some of you may remember Ray's legacy, and those of you who are here and know Ray Markuska, he had the distinction of working as a dedicated custodian here at the 712 campus. He was really noted for his dedication, his hard work, and really that he put his heart and his spirit into his daily job. In 2000, Ray retired after 20 years of service with the district. And then shortly after his retirement, Ray suffered a heart attack that took his life. It's in the name of Ray that we show appreciation to our staff members who have 20 years of service with the district. Those who are being honored today are going to enjoy a lunch with their spouse or a guest at Burntwood Tavern. They'll enjoy a gift from PTO, and their picture is going to be displayed on the digital display outside central office. So we recognize this year for 20 years of service the following individuals. That would be Shannon Beach, Jeff Brown, Ann Carrier, Jillian Langer, Courtney McNamara, Susan Smith, Katie Gill, and Peggy Waugh. Congratulations to those staff members. We thank you for your 20 years of service and dedication. At this point, I will turn the next set of the meeting over to Dr. Hunt.
Yeah, and thanks again for the PTO for assisting with the recognition and Burntwood. Although we typically take these individuals and their spouse to lunch on opening day, they've been nice enough to give us $50 gift cards so you can take your spouse and do that on your own. So once again, thank you very much. So I'd like to move on to important awards that we give each year. Each year, one teacher and one support staff employee are recognized for their outstanding contributions to education and the Chagrin Falls schools. The employees selected are representative of the quality of the teaching staff and the support personnel. Recipients of the award are nominated by peers, students, parents, and others, and selected by a committee representative of these groups. We are very proud of our employees. In education, we know it is people that make the difference, and those recognized today certainly have done that. So as it's already been stated a couple of times, we know this year is going to be very different in a lot of ways. And after talking to our PTO president and booster president, a decision was made to take a little bit of a different approach with this award. So this year's Staff Member of the Year is an employee that shows up to work every day, understanding the importance of what they do and how it relates to improving our school district for students, staff, and parents. They're connected with their coworkers, students, and our community. They work late cleaning buildings and preparing classrooms. They're up early while most of us are asleep, plowing snow or salting walks. They're in the building setting up for events or grabbing just one more table for that support organization that's setting up for a fundraiser. They prepare healthy meals and provide a smile to a student as they move through the lunch line. They are the first face and a positive greeting for a student when they get on the bus in the morning. They are support services for special education students and monitoring students in lunchrooms and playgrounds, ensuring safety and being yet another positive role model in a student's life. And they also pick up the phone and they help us on the other end, constantly reinforcing professionalism for our community. And in March, they all stepped up and did whatever was asked of them, cleaning out lockers to reaching out to at-risk students at home. The 2020 Staff Members of the Year is the entire Chagrin Falls School District support staff. Thank you for all you do, and Burntwood Tavern has provided and donated a gift card for each of you. This year's Teacher of the Year constantly puts the needs of students at the forefront. They are caring, they are compassionate, and they are passionate about their profession. They understand being connected with students, colleagues, and parents is at the foundation of their success. They get that students need to first know that you care about them personally and work tirelessly to ensure that every student is successful. They understand their content, programs, and pedagogy, and that is only second to students and relationships. They teach in classrooms and hallways, on sports fields and on stages. They truly change students' lives by inspiring them to be better versions of themselves each day. Every day they approach students and colleagues with a smile, understanding the importance and impact of attitude. In March, when education was flipped upside down, they stepped forward and they served as a calming force, immediately helping ensure student learning and student support services were uninterrupted. Our transition to teaching and learning in an online environment was quicker than any other school district in the state of Ohio. The 2020 Staff Member of the Year is the entire Chagrin Falls District faculty. Thank you for all you do, and Burntwood Tavern has donated a gift card for each one of you as well. Also, the Booster Club has stepped forward and will make a $200 donation to be used in staff lounges throughout the district. Thank you for everything that you do. On August 3rd, 2020, the White House announced the most recent recipients of the Presidential Awards of Excellence in Mathematics and Science and Teaching. This year's teachers represents 7th through 12th educators from across the United States. The Presidential Award of Excellence in Mathematics and Science are the highest honors bestowed by the United States government, specifically for K-12 science, technology, engineering, math, and computer science. The awards were established by Congress in 1983, and the president may recognize up to 108 exemplary teachers in the nation. The award recognizes those teachers that have been both deep content knowledge of subjects, and they teach in their ability to motivate and enable students to be successful in those areas. Chagrin Falls High School computer science teacher, Ms. Carolyn Petit, was nominated for the award during the 2018-19 school year. She completed the rigorous application process to compete for this prestigious award. This included documentation of mastery of content, use of effective instructional methods and strategies, effective use of student assessment to evaluate, monitor, and improve student learning, reflective practice, and leadership inside and outside of the classroom. This summer, Carolyn was notified that she was selected as one of 2 recipients of this award from the entire state of Ohio. As a presidential award winner, Carolyn receives certificates signed by the President of the United States and a $10,000 award from NSF. Awardees were also honored at a virtual award ceremony which typically takes place in Washington, D.C. Chagrin Falls is incredibly proud of you, Carolyn, and I know you're not happy that I'm going through this right now, but we all celebrate along with you because we've all watched all the hours and time that you've put in, just dedicated to your students and their success. So I appreciate it, and congratulations to Carolyn Petit. So I spent a lot of time trying to think of a theme for this year, and maybe a little backlash of having the theme of home last year. I had absolutely no idea where I was leading the district at that time. But however, the reality is we were tested last spring, and I think it's that togetherness and connectedness that it really helped us be successful in that environment. So this year, it's been really difficult trying to come up with a theme, and it took me all the way until last Friday. And last Friday, the Chagrin Falls Alumni Association dedicated a victory bell to Tom Mattern. And if you don't know Tom, Tom's a member of Chagrin Falls High School class of 1955. He's a former Chagrin Falls teacher, retired from the district, was alumni director for a long, long time. And literally, he has written a book on the Chagrin Falls schools. So Tom is in poor health, and he had to be wheeled out to the scoreboard to ring the bell, as a dedication. And at the end of the ceremony, he kind of motioned to me to kind of come over and talk to him. He then said in a very faint, voice, "I want to thank you for everything." And I was, it's just, "Tom, really? I should be the one thanking you for everything you've done for our school." And he said, "No, I want to thank you for keeping the school and the community really connected during this difficult time. So much could have been splintered, during all of these events over the last 5 years, from building the new school to the COVID crisis." And he ended and he looked right in my eyes and he said, "It needs to stay this way. You have a responsibility to keep it this way. You all have a responsibility to keep it this way. And the only way you're going to do that is stay connected and together." And it's unfortunate that we're still in this fight with coronavirus. And I think all of us would want nothing more than to be, back to normal, and rather than returning in these circumstances. I've always said crisis will divide or define individuals, and it'll certainly do the same to organizations. And, if you're seeking things to complain about, there's a long list of things out there right there. And we know these people, and they can kind of take and distract our energy. I think, however, we were successful last spring because we came together. We put students first. We put the community first. We remained connected with students and each other in this very difficult time. We're more dependent on each other now more than we've ever been. We are essentially at war with a disease that forces us to separate and build distance. However, it is my belief, the more connected we remain with each other, with our students, and with our families, and then this entire community, the better equipped we're going to be to keep moving forward towards that day when this is all behind us. And that day will come. If we come together now, we focus on the goal of implementing these safety precautions that I know you talked about this morning, and continue to put kids first and families first, we'll undoubtedly be stronger on the other side of this. We need to stay connected, Chagrin. I look forward to seeing each of you over the course of the next 2 weeks as we prepare to welcome back our students in a couple weeks. I hope you find the time both rewarding professionally as you grow, and that we work together to open things for our students. They said this couldn't be done in 30 minutes. I'm at minute 24. I want to thank you all for the work you did in advance of arriving today. It's really important for us from a safety perspective. I know we're going to have a chance to talk about levy and other things as the next 2 weeks move forward, but I just wanted to take a little bit of time today to thank you and recognize you. Once again, thanks to PTO, thanks to our boosters, thanks to Mr. Rankin for attending, and everyone have a great afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.